Right, Emma. You know how everyone goes for the big flashy niches, travel, finance, weight loss, all that? Well, today we're not doing that. We're going completely the other way. We're talking micro niches, proper hidden gems.
Oh, micro niches, huh? I mean, I get the appeal, but why bother with something so small when there's so much potential in the big ones? Like, aren't you just limiting yourself right from the get-go? That's what my initial thought would be.
That's precisely the common misconception, isn't it? The thing is, the bigger the niche, the fiercer the competition. You're up against established players with huge budgets. With micro niches, you're looking at far less noise, right? It's about finding those underserved pockets, those very specific problems people have that aren't being adequately addressed. And that's where you build true authority and a loyal audience without fighting for every single click. It's a proper game changer, honestly.
So it's like instead of selling, say, general fitness equipment, you'd be selling treadmills for small apartments or something super specific like that. I'm starting to get it. It sounds less intimidating for sure. Way less noise. I like that.
Exactly that, Emma, but even more granular sometimes. It's not just about narrowing the product, it's narrowing the problem or the audience's specific context. So how do we find these hidden gems, you ask? Well, you've got to go beyond the obvious keyword research tools initially. You really do. Think about communities. Think forums, Reddit, Quora, specialist Facebook groups. What are people asking? What problems are they expressing over and over again that, aren't being served by the mainstream?
Oh, that makes sense. So, like listening to actual conversations, right? Not just looking at search volumes. Like, if someone's constantly posting about how to keep my pet hamster entertained in a tiny cage, that could be a super niche problem. But then, how do you even start to quantify that or figure out if there's enough interest there to actually make a business out of it?
Spot on. It's about qualitative research first, then quantitative validation. You look for patterns in those conversations. Are there specific products mentioned? Are people sharing makeshift solutions? If you see a lot of people talking about a very particular issue and, importantly, actively seeking solutions, then you've got something. You're looking for that passionate, engaged audience, however small it might seem at first. The passion makes all the difference, truly. And trust me, these audiences are usually desperate for someone who actually understands their problem deeply. The real power of this specificity, Emma, is that you become the undisputed authority almost instantly. If you're solving a unique problem for a specific group, people trust you quicker. You're not just another voice in the clamor. Your content resonates deeply because you're speaking directly to their exact pain points. This means higher engagement, higher conversion rates, and, importantly, much lower ad spend if you even need to run ads because your targeting becomes so precise. Do you know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, that makes total sense. Like, if I'm looking for aquarium filters for nano shrimp tanks, I'm going to trust the person who only talks about nano shrimp tanks over aquariumenthusiast.com, you know? But my brain's going to what if it's too specific? Like, do you ever hit a point where it's so niche there's just no one left to sell to or no products to promote?
That's a valid concern, and it's where the validation step comes in, which we'll cover in a bit. But generally, if there's a problem, there's a solution, and often an affiliate product tied to it, even if it's a smaller boutique one. The key is that even a small audience, if they're highly engaged and have a specific problem they need solved, can be incredibly profitable. They're not just browsing, they're actively searching for a solution. Think quality over sheer quantity, always. It's a completely different approach to traditional affiliate marketing, really. So for tools, beyond the obvious keyword planners, Google Autocomplete is a goldmine. Start typing in broad terms related to your potential niche, and then look at the suggestions. People also ask sections in Google search results are equally revealing. Amazon reviews, especially the negative ones, will tell you what problems existing products aren't solving. And obviously those forums we talked about, Reddit, Quora, specialist blogs. Do you know what else is great? Answer the Public. It visualizes questions people are asking around a topic. It's quite brilliant, really.
Oh, that's clever. Negative reviews. I hadn't thought of that. So, like, if a product gets complaints about not fitting small hands, then maybe ergonomic computer mice for small hands is a thing? That's actually super actionable. But what about, like, more obscure stuff? Are there any, like, really weird places you found these gold mines, James?
Well, sometimes it's literally just conversations, Emma. Overhearing someone in a cafe or, a friend venting about a very specific frustration. Customer service calls for certain products can also be incredibly insightful if you can gain access or insights. Look at the comment sections on YouTube videos for niche topics. The more specific, the better. Often, people reveal their deepest frustrations and needs there, and that's just pure, unadulterated market research right there. It's like finding a secret map to a treasure, genuinely. Once you've got a handful of potential micro-niches, the next crucial step is validation. You need to ensure there's actually a market and products to promote. So you'd still do a lighter touch on keyword research, looking for some search volume, even if it's small, and more importantly, checking for commercial intent. Are people searching for buy X or best Y for Z problem? Then hit up affiliate networks, Share a Sale, CJ Affiliate, Amazon Associates, and see if products exist that fit your niche, right?
Okay, so like I've got my aquarium filters for nano shrimp tanks. I'd search for that on Amazon, see if there are actual filters specifically marketed for that or compatible ones, and then check those affiliate networks. But what if the search volume is super low, like say only 50 searches a month? Is that like a deal breaker or?
Not necessarily, Emma. That's the beauty of micro-niches. 50 highly targeted searches with strong commercial intent, where you're the only one truly serving them, can be far more valuable than thousands of broad competitive searches where you're buried on page 10. It's about conversion rate, you see, not just raw traffic numbers. Also, check social media engagement. Are people in those niche groups actively talking about specific products? That's a massive green flag, absolutely. You want to see that existing conversation and a clear problem-solution fit. Right, so you've found your niche, you've validated it. Now for content, this is where you truly shine. Forget generic top 10 lists. You need to go deep, really deep. Create comprehensive guides, troubleshoot very specific problems, write in-depth reviews comparing nuances of products that only someone in that micro niche would appreciate. Your tone should be empathetic, knowledgeable, and authentic. You're not just selling, you're helping. You're becoming the trusted expert for that specific thing.
Okay, so like for the nano shrimp tank filters, I wouldn't just list best filters. I do troubleshooting common flow issues in nano shrimp tank filters for beginner aquarists, or like DIY solutions for filter maintenance in high-density shrimp tanks. Something super focused like that.
Precisely. And don't shy away from video content. A quick tutorial showing exactly how to clean a specific filter for a specific tank type can be incredibly powerful. Or, even creating a small downloadable guide or checklist. The goal is to provide so much value that your audience thinks, wow, this person gets me. When you genuinely solve a problem, the conversions just follow naturally. It's about building that trust, that undeniable connection. That's the real alchemy. Now, traffic. You're not just relying on Google SEO or broad social media ads. You're going directly to where your micro-niche audience already congregates. So active participation in those forums, Reddit subreddits, Facebook groups related to your niche provide genuine value, answer questions, and naturally link to your helpful content when appropriate, obviously without spamming. Consider guest posting on smaller, niche-specific blogs that aren't direct competitors. It's about being where your audience is, not forcing them to come to you.
Oh, so community focus then. That's actually really smart, especially if your content is, actually helpful. People would probably appreciate it. But what about things like Pinterest or even obscure video platforms? Could those work if your niche has a visual component or is really underserved there?
Absolutely, Emma. If your niche is visual, Pinterest is a goldmine for driving targeted traffic. For something like unique crafting supplies or obscure tech, YouTube could be huge, even if your videos only get a few hundred views, if those views are from your ultra-specific audience. The key is to think unconventionally. Where does this specific group hang out online that the big players aren't bothering with? That's your playground, genuinely. It really is about being a bit clever, isn't it? Monetization in micro niches is all about relevance, Promote only products that genuinely serve your audience's specific needs. Don't just slap on any Amazon link. Focus on higher ticket items if they fit, or subscriptions or products with recurring commissions. And build an email list from day one. Even in a small niche, an engaged email list is incredibly powerful. As for scaling, you don't necessarily try to broaden the niche. Instead, you explore complementary micro-niches. So if you're doing nano shrimp tanks, maybe you expand into aquascaping for small tanks or rare aquatic plants for beginners. You stay specific, but you branch out.
Ah, okay. So you don't go from nano shrimp tanks to all freshwater aquariums, but more like nano shrimp tank food or lighting for nano shrimp tanks. That makes sense. It keeps your authority and you're not spreading yourself too thin. But is there a point where a micro niche can just get saturated, even if it's small, or you've just exhausted the product possibilities within it?
It can happen, yes, but it takes longer and is far less common than in broad niches. That's why you always keep an eye on new products coming out, new problems arising. The email list helps you gauge interest. And if one micro niche starts to feel tapped out, you just pivot to a complementary one, using the same audience-first approach. It's like a cluster of little gold mines, really, all interconnected. Ethical scaling, absolutely, is always about adding genuine value. It's about being helpful, not just, pushing products for the sake of it. A common pitfall, Emma, is underestimating the research. People get excited about a niche idea and jump straight into content creation without properly validating it. Another one is giving up too soon. Micro niches often have a slower burn initially because the audience is smaller, but they build momentum. So consistency is key, absolutely. And don't get sidetracked by trying to go too broad within your micro niche too quickly. Stick to your specific lane and dominate it before you consider expanding.
Giving up too soon, I can definitely see. It's probably hard to stay motivated when numbers aren't exploding right away. So, patience is a really big one then? And what about over-optimizing? Trying to jam too many keywords into super specific content, even if it makes it sound unnatural. Does that happen in micro niches too?
Oh, absolutely. Over-optimizing is always a danger. With micro niches, because your competition is lower, you don't need to be quite so aggressive with keyword stuffing, Focus on natural language, answering questions thoroughly, and building genuine authority. Google is smart enough to understand context. Also, another pitfall, neglecting community engagement. Your audience is often active in specific groups. Ignoring those conversations or just dropping links without providing value is a surefire way to, kill your credibility. It's about being part of the conversation, not just shouting at it, This whole micro-niche strategy, Emma, is really about playing the long game. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about building an actual asset, a trusted resource, a go-to expert in a very specific domain. That consistent value, that deep understanding of your audience's problems, that's what translates into long-term sustainable income and even passive income streams. People will come to you because you're the best, not just the loudest. It's a very different kind of affiliate business, really.
So, like basically becoming the Wikipedia of nano shrimp tank filters, but with a personality and affiliate links, right? That makes sense. It sounds like it really emphasizes personal branding too. Even if it's not like your name, it's the brand of your micro niche site, like a trusted voice that people instinctively go to. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense. Whether it's your personal brand or the brand of your dedicated site, you are establishing yourself as the authority. That credibility is incredibly powerful. When you have that, you can introduce new products, expand into related sub-niches, and your audience will follow because they trust your recommendations. It creates a ripple effect of trust and genuine engagement. It's far more resilient than just chasing ephemeral trends in massive, crowded markets. It really is about laying down proper foundations, genuinely. To future-proof your micro-niche, it comes down to continuous learning and adaptability. Keep your ear to the ground in those niche communities. What are the new problems emerging? Are there new products, new solutions? Listen to your audience, absolutely. Your email list becomes a direct feedback channel, allowing you to ask questions and understand evolving needs. And don't be afraid to iterate your content or even pivot slightly if you see a new, equally specific opportunity arise within your broader topic.
So it's not just a set it and forget it thing. It's like constantly tending to your garden, making sure it's still healthy and growing. And that makes total sense. Like, if a new shrimp disease comes out, you'd be the first to cover it for your nanotank audience. Or if a new filter technology emerges, you'd review it right away. It's about staying current and relevant. I get that. So, I guess the big takeaway is think small to win big?
Precisely, Emma. Think small, go deep, and serve with authenticity. It's the unconventional path, but it's arguably the most sustainable and rewarding in the long run. By focusing on solving very specific problems for a dedicated audience, you build a loyal following and a robust, resilient affiliate business. It really is affiliate alchemy in its truest form, and it's a fantastic way to, cut through all the noise.